Hello, hello, ladies. Hello, welcome in. I am so excited to be live right now. It's been a couple of days since I've gone live. I've met some of you over the past weekend, and I've chatted with others of you over Zoom. So I wanted to share a little story of when the divine gives you a sign. Some of you, hi, men. Yes, I'm so excited to share about the various signs. Some of you might know that I recently moved to Frisco, Texas with my sister. And it's very interesting because when I was talking to one of my college friends about it back in New York City, I was telling her, I'm attending the Lifetime Fitness here in on 42nd Street in New York, and it's been great. She was asking me, what made you decide to move to Frisco? And I told her a little bit about like my desires for the future, my family's upcoming changes. And then I told her the reason that I decided on Frisco is because one, my sister's here, but the big sign that was the reason why I wanted to move here is because the Lifetime Fitness that I had been attending was literally 5 minutes away from where my sister was living. So when I told my friend that and her husband said, that's a sign. And it didn't really hit me prior to that until he said, wow, that's a sign. Okay. So that was the first sign. It's like, I'm moving to Texas. My sister's here. The Lifetime Fitness is 5 minutes away. What better situation could I be in? Like, literally, Lifetime Fitness is where I spend my time at, other than at home. So that was that. And then, as some of you know, this weekend I went to a conference, an event, a women's feminine energy event with the beautiful Mina Irfan, her Incarnate event. And while I was there, actually, it was one of the girls that I had met previously at two different other intensives was sitting right in front of me. And she was sitting right in front of me, and I told her, hey, I just moved to Frisco. And she's like, where in Frisco? And I told her, I'm on X, Y, and Z Parkway and drive off of that parkway. And she's like, wait, I live 6 minutes away from there. And I'm like, what are the chances that I would move to a new place? Literally, I've never heard of Frisco before prior to like my sister moving here. Hello, Goddess Angel Rose. So good to see you. Melissa, yes, I'm more than happy to share a little bit about that. It's so interesting. Like she could have been sitting anywhere, the girl who I'm talking about, but she was literally sitting right in front of me. And she said, not only do I live in Frisco, the girl next to her, lives a few minutes away from her. And then the girl next to her lives a few minutes away from her. So apparently, I have all of these women in my world now living like 5 to 10 minutes away from me, which is kind of wild because it's like not only were they sitting around me, they were literally right in front of me. They weren't behind me. They weren't 2 rows behind me, 2 rows in front of me. No, they were literally right in front of me. What are the chances we would all sit together? And Melissa, just to answer your question, the intensive was phenomenal. There were a lot of interesting um, tidbits that came up, and it was so good to meet all of the wonderful ladies that are in the community. So that was awesome. So that happened. It was okay. This is the second sign that God is giving me. What is going on here? What is happening? The very next day, I went to lunch, not to lunch, I went to dinner with two of the ladies who were there. And, I had stood up to ask a question at the intensive, and one of the girls came to me and she was like, oh my God, you literally asked my question. The question I was going to ask, you asked it. So I'm like, oh, well, thank goodness that I actually got up and raised my hand and said, hey, I have a question, because, then I was able to answer her question. So another girl and I went to dinner at Perry's, which was like this beautiful restaurant next to the hotel that the event was hosted at. And while we were there, we find out that one of the girls and I have a flight literally at almost the exact same time, 8 minutes apart. My flight was at 2:50, hers was at 2:58. And I'm like, is this another sign? Like, why is everything just working out so perfectly? Why is everything working out so beautifully? So she picked me up the very next day so that we can drive to the airport together. We're like, okay, we've got a flight at the exact same time. Let's drive to the airport together. And while we were on the way, she had already known the story of like the sign that I got about Lifetime Fitness, the sign from the girls who like literally live around me. And then we passed this billboard that says new energy. And I'm like, hey, we just passed a billboard that says new energy. And she's like, yeah, that's literally a sign for you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. As we were saying that, literally, as we were saying that, we look forward and there's another billboard that says sign. Do I need any more confirmation? Do I need any clearer confirmation than that? No, I do not. God is dropping me signs. The divine is dropping me signs, 5 signs in like a short time span. So the way I look at it is that God is up to something, and I want to know what God is up to. I don't know what God is up to, but I'm excited to find out. So I wanted to come here and share that with you ladies because it is so, so, so important to pay attention, keep your eyes open for when life is dropping clues that things are working out for you. Isn't that beautiful? Like when you get little signs that things are working out, like things, all the chips are falling into place. And that's why I wanted to share this story with you. I was talking to a couple of my beautiful, darling friends a few moments ago, and I shared this story, and I just felt so excited to tell you all the same story. So listen to those signs, pay attention, follow those breadcrumbs, and watch everything unfold. Like there are 3 directions my life can go in right now, and I'm going to leave it up to God. Whatever direction God wants me to go in, that's where I'm going. So I would love for you ladies to do the same. And that is all from me today. As some of you know, I am going to be doing the CEO of You workshop. So I'll drop the link to that in the description box. And this is where we're going to really drum up a really delicious vision for you in your life. We're going to think about the people, the places, and the spaces that you're going to dedicate your time into to create the life and the career you desire. And then we are going to chat a bit about the things that might derail you. So that is happening live next Wednesday. For those on the wait list, you guys get it for free. So I will see you guys there. All right. Well, that is it from me today. I'll chat with you all later. Mwah.